Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of our weekly coaching webinar. I really apologize for the delay in getting started here today. I've had tech issues and I still do not know what is going on. So I'm actually coming to you from my laptop, which is something I have yet to ever do on one of these webinars. But it looks like whatever issue there is would require a hard reset on my computer that I didn't really want to take the time to do and be even more late. So I am here, but hopefully you don't mind my crazy screen going on right now with all kinds of things happening. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about exactly what you need to know to offer business credit and financing during the coronavirus. So if you have any issues, you can type them into the little questions box. I think you might all be able to see the questions that are being asked here because, again, I don't know if you could see. I don't know what's going on. I'm not used to coming live on my laptop, but we'll figure this out. So a lot of stuff's happening right now with coronavirus, and a lot of you are wanting to know, first of all, what to do, how to navigate this landscape for yourself, for your customers. So first of all, let me just congratulate everybody here. You're here because you're partners, and being a partner means at some point in time you've looked at the ability to offer capital as a service and you said, you know what, I don't know, that very well may make sense. That may be something that's recession proof. That may be something that I can always use. And if that is the case, you are spot on correct. We are now in a time where and if you're promoting that you offer business credit financing, you are more than likely absolutely inundated with people that need help. So let's talk about this landscape. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about what has changed, all these kind of things. If I could turn on my webcam right now from this thing, I would. If I could show you fancier screens, I would. But coming from my laptop, we're all going to have to make do with this. It's kind of what happens when you go live with tech issues. So first of all, let's talk about what's happening with the markets right now and your ability to get money and not to get money. So absolutely, in this point in time, your customers can get money when it comes to business credit and financing. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing this along two different lines. When it comes to business credit, we are solid. We've seen no changes. Credit issuers are still issuing credit at the exact same amounts that they always were issuing credit before. We've not seen them tighten up. We've not seen them lower approvals. We've not seen any changes there whatsoever beyond the fact that if you try to get them on the phone, good luck with that. But outside of that, the two kinds of business credit that really exist, the business credit that you're building using a personal guarantee and credit check, the program we call the credit line hybrid program. The credit line hybrid program is still the best program that we find to get through all of this, okay? And the credit line hybrid program is the one that has to do with really unsecured business financing is what we've always called it before, the credit line hybrid. So the nice thing about the credit line hybrid program is that this is where somebody can get 0% financing up to $150,000. They get 0% rates for up to 18 months. Okay, and in doing so, you're able to come in and get no doc credit lines, report to the business credit reporting agencies, and you're able to build business credit as a startup, no doc, high risk industry, and still be able to get approved. Today, as I sit here and talk to you about recession funding, this is absolutely the #1 best program that you're going to access. It is my favorite program because their credit lines, it's 0%. So they report to the business credit reporting agencies. It's no doc financing as well. So it makes it really easy for you to tap in and get the money that you need through a credit line to actually navigate this crisis. It's the #1 most popular program we have right now. I can't tell you how many applications we're submitting on this because lenders haven't tightened up. Lenders are still out there. They're still coming in. They're still offering this amount of credit. Credit limits are still the same. Approval amounts are still the same. 0% helps keep people's payments low. They can build business credit with the program. All somebody needs to qualify is good personal credit. If they have a 650 plus FICO score, then they can qualify for personal or standard cards. Those report to the consumer reporting agencies. With 680 plus, they can get the business cards that report to the business credit reporting agencies as well. So consumer credit reporting agencies with 650 reported, 680, they can start building business credit as well. Up to 150 grand, 0%, fantastic program to get through this. Now, you have a few options right now. If you're coming in and you are a partner, you can go into your back office and you could do multiple different things. One, you could just simply refer the customer to us. If you're overwhelmed, if you're busy, if you didn't take the time to learn a lot about business credit and financing, then you're able to come in and you're able to still be able to submit customers through our Premier Partner Program and still be able to get those customers financing. Let me see if I can actually find my own financing, because for some reason, this login here has me logged in as test.com, which I don't want to be test.com. So you can go in your back office to add client. You can go through Premier Partner. And if you go through Premier Partner, then you're able to come in and you're still able to be able to get approved. Okay, with that being said, without having to do anything, you're able to submit customers without doing anything else. You just submit them through Premier Partner. We pay you a high commission on the customer. We sell the customer. We do all the work. You don't have to do anything other than just refer that client. And all you ever have to do is go to add clients and you'll see these options. The other option that you have is you could actually sell the business credit builder. You could buy it for $700 of credit. You could sell the business credit builder for whatever you want to sell it for, $3,000, $4,000. That's the other option that you have. The other option that you have, and you can see Premier Partner right here, is you can add clients for what we call direct funding. This is where you just submit customers over to get financing. Now, if you are an executive member, you pay the $99 a month, then you can submit customers for financing and get paid on those customers as well. If you're not executive, that's okay. You could use Premier Partner. You could still refer customers over for credit financing. You just don't get paid nearly as much, like less than half of what you get if you're a Premier Partner. So it depends on you. You could go to creditsuite.com/executive, creditsuite.com/executive. It's $99 a month. You get paid double the money that you get paid on Premier Partner, and you could submit customers for direct funding. So if you are executive, then you just simply go here to Finance Blueprint only. You enter the customer's information, you submit them over so we can help them with financing. It's that simple. It goes to our finance team gets them on the phone, and our finance team finds out all the financing they can get now, including SBA loans, SBA Disaster Loans. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, and we help them get all the financing. Other option, you want to sell them the finance suite, business credit builder. A little bit harder right now. People are coming up with thousands of dollars out of pocket right now as often, meaning our closing percentage has definitely been reduced. Not dramatically, but we've seen fewer people enroll with the business credit builder right now because they're scared. They're not coming out of pocket with as much money. But if you could sell the finance suite for $2,000, $3,000, whatever it may be that you're selling it for, then this is where you're going to enter the customer for this. And if you are in our beta, which is now out of beta, and you're now actually offering our do-it-yourself business credit builder or Genesis program, that is a much more affordable way for customers to get in and get the business credit builder. They get the finance suite, not as much access as somebody that pays the full amount does, and they don't get advisors, but it's still something you can offer at about half or a fraction of the price, because the enrollments for the Genesis or do-it-yourself are much cheaper than our normal. If you're not in this and you want to offer the cheaper, the more affordable business credit builder, go to contact us, get with our partner success team, and we'll get you set up to offer the more affordable business credit builder that doesn't have advising support. And then, of course, don't forget Premier Partner. Premier Partner was designed so you could just refer customers over and get paid. You're like our super affiliate. You get the highest commission payouts that we have anywhere that nobody else can get unless you're a partner. And this allows you just to enter the customer's basic information, and then you refer them to us, and we do all the work. We sell them business credit, we sell them financing, and you get a commission. So that's how you submit customers over. Let me start there, give you the options you have. Sell the normal finance suite for whatever you're going to sell it for, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. We've got partners that sell for $5,000 and they're crushing it right now because they're very slammed because a lot of people need help. Okay, or you come in, submit a customer for direct funding so they could just get money without buying anything first, and then you could sell them the business credit builder. This is what we're doing a lot of right now. If you want to know how we're selling at Credit Suite, we are still selling the finance suite like we normally will, but we are adding an extra step. If the person has good credit, we are then selling it as a two-step process. We're telling them we're going to first come in and we're going to get them direct funding. We are going to come in first and we are going to help them get financing to even then help buy for their enrollment. And then we have them sign off. And again, there's something in your back office, in your partner resources, that gives you the ability, and I think it's in the financing training section of your financing sources. Go to partner resources, resource library, go to the finance section, and then in there you'll find an agreement where they can actually fill it out saying they agree to buy the product if and when they get financing. So that's one way to do it. You get them the financing and then they can turn around and buy once you help getting them the financing. That's a great way to go right now. It works very well. Or you can sell them a more affordable version. We're not selling a lot right now of our Genesis. We're not trying to sell a lot more Genesis. We're still selling the primary finance suite. We're getting some people that have good credit. The credit line hybrid program I just told you about, we're using their credit to get them credit lines up to $150,000, and they're using that money to then buy the business credit builder. That's one way that we're doing it. And also, you could just refer them into us if you don't know what the heck to do, and then we'll do all that for you. So that's how you handle that. Now, back to the topic at hand. Credit line hybrid is the best program we found to help customers. 0% financing. They build business credit. They get up to $150,000. Working capital credit lines, fantastic way to go. Outside of this, we still rely on the 3 C's: cash flow, credit, collateral. Here's the problem. The program that's taken the biggest hit is right here: cash flow financing, business revenue lending. This is the one where somebody 1 year in business, $10,000 a month in revenue, is able to come in and get approved for financing up to $500,000 and get it funded within as little time as 24 to 48 hours. This is the most common kind of financing that's out there anywhere right now. The problem is these lenders have really restricted what they will do. Okay, so for example, some of our bigger sources like On Deck, for example, okay, On Deck as of Thursday would still, lend to anybody normally like they would, $120,000 in revenue annually, 500 FICO score, almost any industry. Then as of Friday, they now will only accept somebody that has $250,000 in revenue, 3 years time in business, where it used to be only 1 year time in business, and they restricted a tremendous amount of industries. I planned on showing you that today, but it's on my actual main computer. It is not on this computer, so I can't show it to you, but I will tell you what those industries are so you can get an idea for this. So they have come in to give you an idea of the tightening of requirements in this space right now, and to give you an idea of how fast things are moving. Thursday, they would lend to somebody that had $120,000 a year in revenue and 1 year time in business. Now they're 3 years time in business and $250,000 a month in revenue. They've tripled time in business requirements and doubled revenue requirements. Here's a list of restricted industries so you can get an idea of what's happening. They will no longer help cafeterias, caterers, drinking places that sell alcoholic beverages, restaurants, bed and breakfasts, hotels, RV parks, general freight, trucking, long distance. No clue why that is. They're slammed right now. Used household and office goods. Okay, limousine services, special needs transportations and taxi services, beauty salons, nail salons, dentists, childcare, amusements, recreational industries and parks, bowling centers, golf courses, country clubs. I don't know why they don't like golf courses. Golf courses are awesome. Performing arts center, elementary and secondary schools. Not nice to rule out schools. Fine arts schools, flight training. Okay, tour operators, travel agencies, sporting goods stores, gasoline stations, vending machine operators, et cetera, et cetera. So gives you an idea of how many industries are now restricted. I don't know how many are on this list. I feel it's 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That is about 250 industries they've now restricted that they will no longer help. This is what's currently happening right now. Cash flow financing, revenue lending is the hardest hit program when it comes to getting money right now. It used to be the fastest and easiest way to get money. Every day we are seeing lenders no longer accept applications, no longer work with subprime customers, lengthen their time in business requirements, etc. So if you have customers looking to get money, the number one message you need to convey is, listen, you need to get money right now. There's a limited window to get cash. Every day, more banks are stopping to accept any applications. A lot of them are still accepting from us because we're a super broker, but they won't even accept applications from a lot of other brokers. A lot of the other lenders out there, like On Deck, are still accepting applications, but they're saying, look, our requirements used to be A, now they are B, and B is way tougher to get approved with. So it is becoming harder and harder every single minute for you to be able to offer financing for these customers. If you are connected to me personally on Facebook, Or at my professional page at Ty Crandall on the professional public figure page, you'll see I posted in depth something that's very much makes sense for you to basically copy and paste, which says, look, it's getting really hard right now to get access to money. You could still get it, but it's becoming more difficult than ever. So here's how you really succeed in this space. First of all, you've got to change your messaging. And I talked about a lot of this last week. You have to start talking directly to your customers about what's going on. We just were embarrassed to figure out today that our social media manager never changed our scheduled content and is still posting stuff that is completely irrelevant to what is going on right now. You can't make that same mistake. Everything you're putting out there needs to be reflective about the crisis and show that you are empathetic towards entrepreneurs. You need to change your message. Your message needs to be, look, you can still get money. You're going to need money to get through this, but you need to act now. There's a limited window to act. Things are tightening up. It is getting more difficult than ever to get access to the cash that you need. 100% of what I'm telling you is 100% accurate. You need to convey that to them. You need to convey that every day lenders are making it harder if you have credit issues. They're made to get approved. Shorter time in business requirements are tougher to get approved. It's tougher to get approved based on a lot of industries that are impacted by what's going on. So you need to convey the message that you can get money right now, but it's a limited window. You have to act now. You have to open up platforms or ways for them to get with you on two things. If you need money and you need money now, you need to get with me right now. Okay, I posted that on my personal page today. Posted on the LinkedIn page, posted everywhere you can on your business page, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to know what I posted, like I said, find my Facebook personal page, copy that, or go to my Credit Suite, or my Ty Crandall professional page, and you'll be able to copy and paste the same post, and you could use that to convey that message to your audience as well. Look, you need to get money. Things are changing rapidly. I can help you get money, but you got a limited window to do it. So step one, you got to change your messaging. You got to talk about the urgency of getting money now before it's too late. That markets will tighten up, that credit will tighten up, that lenders are already restricting a lot of industries and making it more difficult for others to get the financing. You need to talk a lot about that. Next, you need to move into education mode. You need to go into the PowerPoints in the back office. You need to use the videos. You need to start tapping into the content that's available in your back office. You need to make slight modifications to modify it for recession, for coronavirus, and you need to get out and start doing more live streams. Now, on my case, I'm doing 2 Facebook lives a week. I'm doing 3 YouTube lives a week. I'm doing an Instagram live a week. So I am doing 6 live streams a week, up from my normal 2. I am tripling the amount of live streams and content that I'm doing. And just to let you know, I am getting massive response on all of my live streams. Okay, I just did a YouTube earlier today. I had 1,200 people on the YouTube live. I just did right after that a Facebook live, and I just had 1,100 people on the Facebook live. So I literally just had 2,300 people in the last hour and a half watching my content, and that's one day's worth of posts. The last Facebook live that I did last week generated 50 loan applications, and I don't know how many phone calls. Right now, you have what people want and need. And if you make yourself public on live channels, on webinars, start putting videos out there, then people are going to engage and respond with the content you have, especially if you change it up, the titles and the content a little, to make it very relevant to what's going on. The YouTube live I just did was a normal YouTube that we do on credit lines, but what we did instead was we actually modified it a little towards the recession. We added some coronavirus and recession content in there, and we did the same webinar we've done before, where we had 300 people on the live, and we got 1,200 people on the live because it was very relative to the current situation. So right now, you have a really big opportunity to start flooding YouTube, flooding Facebook, flooding every platform you can flood with content and information. If you're executive, you're set. Your life is complete because you have hundreds of that content in the back office. You have to have 200 PowerPoints to that back office you could choose from. Even if you're not executive, you still have a ton of PowerPoints. You could repurpose the content and start getting the message out there. People really want to know right now about SBA. So let me talk to you about SBA disaster loans, because this is what I'm learning. If you talk a lot about SBA disaster loans, A lot of people are going to respond. A lot of people are going to engage. A lot of people are going to watch what you have and listen to what you have. So when you're putting content out in the space, my advice, talk about these SBA disaster loans. Here's what you need to know about the SBA disaster loans. Okay, they are a little bit different than SBA loans. If we look at normal SBA loans, like I have pulled up here, normal SBA loans go up to normally about 5 million. Here I have 12 million, they do, but normally they go up to about 5 million. Normal SBA loans have interest rates of 6 to 8 or 7 to 10% typically. Okay, and normal SBA loans offer loan terms up to about 30 years. The SBA disaster loans, here's where there's different. The interest rate for for-profit companies is 3.75%. The interest rate for nonprofits is 2.75%, 2.75%. The loan amounts are to $2 million. Okay, but typically you want to advise your customers to apply for loans $350,000 and less, and here's why. $350,000 qualifies them for an SBA Express loan, a faster loan. $350,000 can get them approved with no collateral. They may need it, they may not need it. It just depends on the risk of the deal. Over 350, you've got to have collateral. Under 350, you don't need collateral. I'm advising clients to stay under $350,000 when they apply. They can get approved for up to $2 million, 2.75% nonprofit, 3.75% rates for for-profits. Loan amounts to $2 million. I mentioned loan terms up to 30 years. I give people an example. I say, for example, a $350,000 loans at 3.75% interest will mean your payment is $1,620 a month. That's how I'm selling a SBA. I'm telling you basically the same thing I say in every time I talk about SBA. Loan terms to 30 years, interest rate of 3.75% for for-profits, loan amounts to $2 million, keep them under 350 to make it go fairly quick. The only other changes for this SBA program, if you're applying for under $1 million and you're a vet, you can actually get approved and they'll waive the fee for you altogether. So something else you could know that you don't need to know. And the other thing that I'm really mentioning a lot is that SBA disaster loans are different than SBA loans for two other reasons. The purpose you're using the funds. Usually you can't use SBA funds because you're payroll to pay payroll, right? SBA, like if you can't pay payroll, SBA loan is not the loan for you. But you can use SBA loans to pay payroll. They do expect your revenues to decline. They expect your revenues to drop. They expect your expenses to increase. They expect your debt ratios to be out of whack. Those things aren't acceptable with normal SBA loans. With these SBA disaster loans, they're going to help you get the money you need to be able to get approved, even if your revenue is declining, even if your sales are declining, even if your expenses are increasing, your debt ratios are out of whack. They're going to let you use the money to pay your regular bills, to pay your payroll. None of that stuff is accepted with SBA. All of that stuff is accepted with an SBA disaster loan. The other thing about SBA disaster loans, they will let you apply with only 1 year financials versus 3 years financials, okay? So that's what you need to talk to everybody about. Here's SBA. Here's what it takes. If you want, this will be available for playback as soon as tomorrow. You can go back if you didn't write those down and write those down, or just go search online. Look, just search online. I mean, I found out everything I needed to know about SBA disaster loans 7 minutes before I went live by doing a couple basic Google searches, and you can pull that up. Now, I told you a bunch of stuff, some that you're not going to find on basic Google searches, but like the 1 year financials, you're not going to find that on a Google search. But the basic stuff like rates, terms, that you're going to find online. Then I took the interest rate, 30-year term, and I gave the example of $1,600 a month for a payment, but I created that. I actually did the math and research to just figure out what a payment would be to give people a real example. Because if I tell people they can get a 3.75% rate over 30 years, that means nothing, nobody. But if I tell them they can get $350,000 for $1,600 a month, that means something to somebody. That way it lets them know what they can get. Okay, so I'm going to now come up here, just open up this little go to webinar box here. I know my screen skills suck today, guys. I apologize. It's because I'm trying to do this on one screen. I'm used to having multiple screens here. So I've got a question. Let me see if I can pop questions out. Okay, got some questions here from George. George says, I submitted a loan last week. It was denied because of the trucking industry. The lenders want to see more revenue. He has income $10,000 a month and over $200,000 of collateral, semi trucks and trailers. The government has offered 0%, interest for business to help them pay employees and stay in business. That was on today. Should I understand should I understand everyone is scared? Yes. So this is the next change, and we haven't seen it fully yet, but they do plan on bringing these interest rates down to 0% for SBA right now. Okay, so they do plan on bringing those down. I have not seen that as of today, but I will look. From our SBA lenders, that is not something that I've seen them do yet. But if you applied last week, I would talk to our team again, because they might have got denied for an SBA loan, but it might not have been an SBA disaster loan, which brings up another point. You all need to understand that there's a lot of things. I just told you what you should tell people about SBA. Here's the real story behind SBA. Okay, so many people right now think that SBA is a handout from the government. There's a lot of people out there that still think that the government is going to come in and rescue them. I can tell you, I lived through the mortgage crisis. It's horse crap. It doesn't happen. Usually the ones that get the bailouts are the biggest industries that are out there, like airline, and they happen to be the most irresponsible industries, but they've got great lobbyists. I rarely see the money really trickle down to the small business owners like we normally need it. And here's what I mean by this. Most places that you're going to see SBA loans, they're still really offering regular SBA loans because they're so overwhelmed with applications. SBA disaster loans don't pay very little to any money to brokers that are originating them. So most people that are inundated with SBA loans, they're cherry picking. They're only sending the best files in, and they're sending regular files into SBA anyways. To date, I've never seen any SBA lender only ask for 1 year financials, even though that's the requirement. They're all asking for 3 years financials, even though SBA disaster loans only need 1 year worth of requirements. I'm still seeing a lot of SBA lenders submit the loan through normal SBA channels, not even trying the disaster loans because they think that the normal channels are faster than the disaster loan channels. So it just depends on the individual scenario. The other thing that I want you to really understand about SBA saving the world here is that everybody talks about this $50 billion that was dumped into SBA, right? Makes sense. $50 billion was dumped into SBA. But here's the math. There was already $50 billion in SBA. SBA had $50 billion to lend. They have it already. The government just freed up an extra $50 billion. Notice one thing. You've never heard anything about SBA hiring more people right now, right? Has anybody noticed that? SBA got an extra $50 billion and no extra employees. So how much is that going to help them when they don't have any extra people to help with these loans and help lenders originate and look at these loans? The other problem, here's the real math. Through February of 2020, SBA had lent $70 million in loans. You do the math. They have $50 billion to lend. Through February, they lent $70 million. They were nowhere on track to lend anywhere close to even a 50th of the money they already had. This extra money is not going to help them when they were on track to not even lend a 50th of the money they already had to begin with. So even though I would love to think that these SBA disaster loans are going to save us all, and to be straight, it's a great way to talk to people and educate the people about them, to get them to call you, to get them on the phone with you, to see what you could really do to help them. But the first thing we do when we get these people is we divert them immediately to other financing they can get right now. And then we still run them through the SBA system, but we don't expect great things. They still need good credit. They still need business credit. They still need cash flow. They still need collateral. They still need all of these other things to qualify that you normally need to qualify for an SBA loan. Not a lot of people have it all. And even if you do have all that, the SBA loan system is so bogged down right now, and the banks that are accepting SBA loans are so bogged down that what might have taken a month to get done very well could take many months to get done now. That's the reality of what I'm seeing from the SBA system right now. Yes, it's easier to get approved for disaster loans and use the funds as you need it. Yes, you can get approved with 1 year financials. But in the real world, what I'm seeing is these lenders are still asking for 3 years financial. They're still scrutinizing the borrower more now than they ever have before because they're so inundated with applications. They could cherry pick and only take the best people to help the best people. It sucks. I know it sucks. I can't stand it, but that is the current system as I'm seeing it. I want you to know that. So what we're doing is when we've got these people coming in, we're immediately talking to them about all the other options they could use to get money, like the credit line hybrid program, while they're waiting to go through the SBA process. And we move them to a source that will help with the SBA process, an SBA lender, for example. But again, I want you to know this is the languaging we're using and what we're doing to bring customers in the door to help them. But I also want you to know the real picture. And the real picture is that SBA loans ain't the savior. Okay, and I don't use ain't very often, but I'm using it now because it ain't the savior. Okay, people don't have the good credit, cash flow, and collateral they need to get an SBA loan, and they're so scrutinized. These loans are being so scrutinized. Lenders are so cherry picking that it's harder now than ever to get SBA loans. From what I've seen, it's not easier because the lenders are inundated with business. I wish it wasn't that way, but that's what I'm seeing in real time. The other reality is you got to stay away from these revenue lending loans right now, unless you're dealing with a business that hasn't been impacted and had their revenue drop, which there's not a lot that haven't. I mean, most of them, besides grocery stores and Walmart and Amazon, I mean, these guys are seeing increases in business. Walmart's hiring 150,000 people, but most other industries outside of that are really hit right now. You have to remember revenue lending, cash flow financing, it's based on consistent cash flow. It's based on increasing cash flow. None of that's happening right now. That option is pretty much off the table. So now we've got to look at the other C's. If cash flow isn't good, we've got to look at credit. We've got to look at collateral. So we are really pushing very much the credit line hybrid and pushing everybody to get a guarantor. If people call us and they say, I'm scared, I'm in serious trouble, then we're saying, hey, look, this thing evens out. Are you still going to be able to exist 2 months from now, even if your revenue is a fraction of what it was? Yes, if I can get the money. Okay, then you need to get this credit line hybrid. My credit's not good enough. Okay, then you need to go talk to mom and dad right now. You need to go talk to a friend right now. You need to go talk to a potential investor right now because you desperately need the help for survival. And those people in your circle that know, love, and trust you are the ones that will step up. And if we get you credit line hybrid and the credit reports to the business credit reporting agencies, their credit's not going to really be hurt at all unless you default. And it's going to give you 0% credit lines that you can take cash out on to help you navigate the process. Use your credit, use the credit of a guarantor. Don't have that? Now we revert to that second C, right? Now we look at account receivables. Now we look at purchase order. Now we look at inventory or 401ks or stocks or bonds or IRAs. Now we look at commercial real estate you may own. Now we look at equipment you may own. Let's look at every asset you own that could be used as collateral. And if you have commercial real estate, let's borrow against that to get a loan. If you have commercial vehicles, if you have any kind of asset, inventory, equipment, 401k, stocks, bonds, IRAs, let's use that as collateral to get you financing. But the reality is, not a lot of people that you and I are talking to have collateral. They usually have good credit or a good credit guarantor, or they have cash flow, but they don't usually have collateral. But you need to ask that question. And now's the time that you need to ask mom. You need to ask dad. You need to ask grandpa, grandma, friend, family, whoever it may be. The people that know, love, and trust you are the ones that will step up and let you pledge their assets as collateral to help you through or sign up as a guarantor. Guys, look, this is the real world. If I was in the last recession and I owned a mortgage company, okay, I would not go to my dad and ask my dad for help. You know why? Because I have enough common sense to know that the mortgage industry ain't ever going to be a good industry after that happened. I was in it and said, yeah, this industry is pretty much toast. It will recover, but at a fraction of the level that it was. I wouldn't have had my dad reach out to help me. But if I'm a credit repair company, if I am a business credit and financing company like Credit Suite, I'd have no issue going to somebody that I know, love, and trust and ask for help here, because the reality is I have a better chance on the other side of this. You know, when people come out of this, they're going to need credit repair at an enhanced level. They're going to need business credit. They're going to need financing at an enhanced level. So I'm explaining this to you because if I have somebody that I know may never recover when this is done, then guess what? If I'm that person, I'm not going to go rely on a family member to sink to jump on a sinking ship, right? And I never would ask my dad for help with the mortgage company. If I needed help right now, I'd have no problem going to somebody that I know, love, and trust to help me. And here's why. Because I would immediately say, here's where I am. Here's what is going to happen on the other side of this. It looks fantastic for us. I need the money to carry me through. And I'll borrow the money from you at 8, 9, 10% interest. Or I'll give you ownership interest in the business to help me in the time that I need it. Okay, that's where venture capital, that's where angel investing comes into it. So this is the message that you want to convey to the people around you. Look, if you're in an industry that you could be helped and come out the other side on top, now's the time to rely on family, friends, potential investors to let you use their stocks, use their bonds, use their 401ks, use their IRAs, use their credit. Nothing will impact them unless you default. They have a chance to get an 8, 9, 10% interest rate return by helping you, or get an ownership interest in your business by helping you when times are bad, and they come out the other side ahead, and I do. So when I went in the military, my dad's an accountant. I know, no surprise. I spent my life in financial services. But I can tell you, my dad said, son, I need to tell you a very important lesson. He said, soldiers will spend every dime of their money when they first get paid. If you hold your money and you wait until the second piece of the pay period, then you'll find they all need money, and you can lend money to them at a good interest rate and make a whole other business out of it. I mean, literally, this is what my dad says to me when I go in the military. You know what I did? Exactly what he freaking said. It created a whole other business. I'm in the military lending money to people and getting a rate of return because they run out of money when they need it. That is exactly the same thing here, is that when people need money, then you want to go to the people that you know, like, and trust, the people around you. Because again, I have no problem with that, because when things come around again, I'm going to come in. Now's a great time to invest in a lot of businesses that need help getting through the next month or 2 months. So this is the messaging we're telling our customers. Go get a guarantor. Use your credit. Use the collateral you have. Don't have good credit, don't have a guarantor, don't have collateral. Who around you has the collateral? Now's the time to tap into that actual network that you have. So that's kind of how we're approaching this whole thing, is that we're talking about credit and financing everywhere to anybody that we can. We're explaining that you need to have business credit built to get an SBA loan. Hey, if you haven't built your business credit, you got to have business credit to get an SBA loan. While you're in the process of getting your SBA loan, get with us. Let's talk to you about making business credit affordable. We're working with them on payments. We've lowered our prices. We're lowering our prices to make it affordable. We're relying more on Genesis, the program that's more affordable without advisors. We're looking at ways to make it more affordable for the customers to build business credit, and letting them know, if you would have built your business credit already, you wouldn't be struggling to get money. It'd be much easier for you to get money. You haven't. It's not too late. You need to get started now. You can't even get an SBA loan without it. And when you come out the other side, you're going to need business credit anyway. So now's the time to invest in it, because you're going to have it. And if you have it now, it's going to make it easier to get the money you have. That's the messaging we're conveying. We're talking about SBA disaster relief. We're talking about SBA loans. We're talking about how the system has changed. We're talking about in real time that things are tightening up, and that people need to take action right now, right away, or they're going to miss their window to come in and get the financing that they need. These are the things that, and we're going everywhere. We are going live, as you see, double to triple as much as we used to, but we're also going everywhere. We're going to our groups. We're going to all of our social channels. We're going to every joint venture partner and influencer we know. We're reaching out to media sources, seeing if they need somebody to interview on the topic. We're writing a blog post about every state and financing that you can get in every single state and what's changed in every state. We're staying the ones that are the ones that inform people what's going on. And then that way we're expanding and building a massive audience right now. Our audience is growing significantly. Okay, we had, like, I don't know, 50 to 100 new subscribers on our channel during one Facebook live stream, because again, we're just being the ones that are out there putting as much content as possible. And our call to action is to go to our link to apply or give us a phone call. When they call us, we are finding out right away if they have good credit or a good credit partner. We are talking to them about the importance of business credit. If they are scared and not willing to pull the trigger, we talk to them about the affordability and see if any payments we can come up with make sense for them right now. If they say no and they have good credit or a guarantor, we go in, we're submitting them for direct funding, we're getting them the financing they need, and having them sign off that when they get that financing, they're going to buy the business credit builder. They're not just looking for a short-term solution. They need a long-term solution. They need a solution that works for both right now and in the future. And then we're talking to them about the importance of that, coming in and getting them the unsecured credit, and then coming in and getting them to actually pay for the business credit builder after that. But we're not moving all of our customers that direction. We are instead trying to get all of the business credit builders sold first. If they won't buy, doesn't matter price, doesn't matter affordability, they're just scared. Then we come in and get them the credit-based financing, the credit line hybrid, and then sell the business credit builder as a two-step process. Get you the money, and then start building business credit right behind it to get you more money. That's how we're selling. And at the same time, We're submitting everybody for SBA that even has a chance of getting SBA loans. A lot of them will get approved. Some of them won't get approved. A lot of them we won't even submit because they don't have cash flow, credit, and collateral like they need to get SBA. But the ones that do have it, we're submitting everybody over there to get it. And then we're also looking really heavily on collateral-based financing. Do they have stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, equipment, inventory, commercial real estate? What do they have? It's an asset that can be used as collateral. And then we're helping them use that asset as collateral to then be able to come in and be able to get financing. And if they don't have those assets as collateral, we're helping them then come in and go to other guarantors that may be around them and have those people pledge their assets as collateral for these people to be able to get financing. That gives you a general idea of our entire strategy right now and what we're doing to help as many people as we can and what you could do to help as well. Remember, as I mentioned in the beginning, you have many different ways you could submit customers here. You could sell them the do-it-yourself business credit builder that's more affordable. You could sell them the main business credit builder and break up their payments and make sure those payments are affordable. You could submit them just for funding. You could also come in and use our premier partner to just submit everybody you have that has any interest in business credit financing and let us filter them out with who we can help and who we can't help to get financing and also to sell business credit too. Okay, our team is working extended hours. We have more people that are coming on to help us as well. So we are doing everything we can to service you and the customers. It's just a matter of getting the messaging out there, telling everybody how you can help, what's available, what's changing, and what's not, and then getting those applications in and getting them submitted to make sure that we can get them approved. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and open this up to more questions, and I have not managed your questions as I went here. And I don't have a lot, which is good because it's just been crazy to be able to use a laptop versus my normal screen. Ron says, how do we get paid on SBA loans? Is there an application fee? A lot of lenders right now, a lot of finance sources are charging $500 to $1,000 to $2,000 application fees, non-refundable whether you get approved or don't. We don't get any of that money. I don't want any of that money. Okay, to be honest with you, that's how I am, and I'm sorry if that adversely affects you, but that's how I am. Our source said, look, I'm charging $500. If you want, we'll charge your customers more and we'll split what we get with you. And I said, no, don't pay us anything on them. Just help the people if they need the help. And I know that doesn't help you and it's not the answer you want to get. But the reality is, in my world, the way I think is that if I don't make a dime on a disaster loan, I just don't care. And I'm sorry if you care and I just don't care. I mean, people that are getting the disaster loans are the ones that desperately need this right now. And for our economy to try to stay where it is and for us to have a chance of recovery, we need to help each other, especially the people that are the most down and out right now. I've been that guy. I was the mortgage guy when the thing collapsed. And I wish, at that time, people stepped up to the level that I'm trying to step up to help me that same way. So disaster loans, to be straight with you, I don't know, and I don't think, and I don't expect that you're going to get paid on them. And I'm raising my hand and I'm saying that it's because we're not going to get paid on them. And if you want to charge an extra fee as an application fee to these customers, you can. And I'm not criticizing you if you do that at all. I'm not at all criticizing you. You can charge them a $500, $1,000, to $2,000 non-refundable fee, work up a simple fee agreement. Some of that stuff's in the back office I think you could even use. And you charge them a $500 to $2,000 application fee, get them in, okay, and then if we get them submitted to SBA, then we see what happens. They don't charge somebody $1,000 if they got a 580 FICO score, no revenue. I mean, have some common sense, right? I mean, if they have good credit, cash flow, and collateral, looks like a good SBA candidate, get them in, charge them an application fee. We'll get them over to the disaster financing source, the disaster SBA source, which we've got a bunch of them. It just depends on which customer is better for which place. They're going to charge another application fee of $500 to $2,000, depending on the source, and they're going to submit the application and make sure the whole deal gets done. In that scenario, we don't make a dime, and I don't care. I just don't really care. Okay, the disaster loans, if people need them and they can get them, we're not going to make any money on them. We're not going to charge any money on them. But I think people that are really working the files, I think you should. If you're going to charge up front, it makes sense. The person working on the file with the SBA will make their money on an application fee. That's how they're going to get paid. On a normal SBA loan, we are going to get paid. We usually get like a 1 percentage point on a normal SBA loan. And then as you guys know with Premier Partner, we pretty much just split that fee with you. That's how that works. Or excuse me, if you're executive. So if you're executive, you're still going to get paid on a normal SBA loan like you typically would. It's about 0.5% is what you'll get paid. We get paid 1%. That's how you get paid on a normal SBA loan. On these disaster loans, I've not seen they're paying brokers, which is a bad idea if they want to help as many people as they can, but that's their choice. So what I'm seeing is brokers charge an application fee. We are not collecting a dime from the application fee because they were going to raise it for customers for us to do so. I didn't want that to happen. I just don't feel right about it. But you can and maybe should, it's up to you, charge an application fee on your end. If you have somebody that's a good candidate, then they get to the finance source, they'll charge an app fee, and then that's how you'll get paid. So hopefully that answers the question in its entirety, Ron. Melvin says, on the do-it-yourself program, do we make commission on this program, and do we purchase the program at the wholesale price, $700? So there's two different answers to that question, Melvin. First of all, if you're selling Genesis by yourself right here, the do-it-yourself, then you could sell it for whatever you want to sell it for. Like the enrollment level is half of what a normal one is. It's like $350. So you could sell it to somebody for $500, for $200 a month payment, $300, whatever, $300 a month payment, $350 up front, and $100 a month, and the rest is profit. Just like the normal finance suite, you determine the selling price. It's not for me to determine. You determine the selling price. Anything you sell it above and beyond the investment is your profit. The only difference is the investment's half as much. You could get it for $350. You can get it as low as $200 or $250 if you're buying them in bulk and volume. You determine the selling price and you sell it for however much you want to. The biggest difference is they're not getting advisor support, so they're not going to pay as long as they would normally pay, and they're not going to get the same kind of results. So you're going to want to probably step in and help them more. Okay, we found that what makes our program successful is that coaching. It's reaching out to them and helping somebody actually come in and succeed. If you're not doing that, if you're not helping somebody come in and succeed, then they're not going to get really far. So you might want to provide some extra coaching or expect them not to stay and pay for a lot longer than they typically do because they don't have advisor support, but you determine the sales price. If you're referring them over for us, yes, we'll pay you a commission equivalent to what we would normally pay when somebody enrolls for us for our core program. If you're referring somebody through Premier Partner and they come to us, we're going to pay you the exact same commission we pay you through Premier Partner, which I think is like 20% or 25% of net profit. I don't even remember what it is, but we're still going to pay you the same. So if we sell them Genesis, 100, I think $200 a month is what we charge for that, then we're going to pay you a commission on that. Just like if we sold them our core program for $600 a month, we pay you a commission on that. So the answer is it depends on who's originating the deal. Either you're selling the customer through our Genesis, through the do-it-yourself, you're buying the credit, you sell them for whatever you want, make whatever profit you want, the same as the business finance suite. Or the second option is you refer it to us through Premier Partner and we do the selling, and we're going to still pay you the same percentage that we would normally pay. It's just the amount that you'd make is less because obviously it's $200 a month for Genesis on our end, and it's $600 a month if somebody wants core. So, we charge somebody a lot more money for core. I hope that makes sense, but if it doesn't, let me know, and I'll make sure that gets answered a different way. But all right, I'm going to wrap this up, and if you have any other questions, go ahead and type them in. Hopefully now you got a good idea. I mean, the bottom line in summary is that the credit line hybrid, 0% interest, they need a 650 credit score or higher. They get 0% credit lines for 18 months, no doc. It is the easiest form of money to get, and lenders and credit issuers have not tightened up it at all. So it is our #1 go-to program. The majority of people can get it, and nothing is tightened up or changed. So it's our go-to program and should be the same one to you as well. Next, instead of cash flow financing, which used to be the most popular, we don't even touch it anymore unless we're dealing with an industry that really has not been affected by this. So that program that used to be the saving grace for almost all lenders out there, one of the biggest shifts is we just don't do it. Your ability to get money in 48 hours up to $500,000 is significantly diminished right now, unless you're in an industry that's really benefiting and that hasn't taken a hit from this. If you haven't taken a hit, you could still get cash flow based financing. But if you have, that's no longer a viable option for you. Then we start reverting and looking more than we ever have for credit partners that have good credit, for assets, collateral, equipment, inventory, account receivables, commercial real estate, commercial vehicles from you or a guarantor, someone around you that has it. We're pushing more for that than we ever have before. And then, of course, we're putting everybody in for SBA loans that may be able to qualify. But these people need to have good personal credit. They need to have some kind of collateral, especially if they're applying for more than 350 grand. And they need to have at least 1 year's worth of tax returns that show that they're generating good revenue and preferably profits. If they have that, then we're going to submit them for SBA, and there's a good chance they can get an SBA disaster loan or get an SBA regular loan if they have 3 years worth of solid financials. Okay, so that's exactly how we're handling your customers on this end. Now, you know exactly how to talk about this on your end when you're putting information out there. And I've also talked about the multiple options. Just refer somebody to us through Premier Partners, the easiest way to go. Submit somebody directly for direct funding if you're an executive, and we'll help them get financing. You can also sell the finance suite as you always have, but work with customers on more affordable payments like we are. We lowered our price, and I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, but it's a good gesture right now that things are crazy. And then rely more on Genesis, a cheaper program to get people in that's more affordable. That can help you on that program as well, but a lot of options to help a lot of people. Don't forget to change your messaging. Don't forget to educate people anywhere and everywhere that you can that you have solutions, that you are there to help them. Go live more, get with joint venture partners, get with influencers, get with anybody in your audience that has a following and work with them to start talking to their audience. Okay, I was just on Roland Frazier. Roland Frazier is huge in the digital marketing community. He asked me to come on his webinar to answer questions in front of his highest mastermind levels, higher mastermind level about financing for a business. I'll be honest with you, I'm even scared. These guys all have like 10 to $100 million plus companies. And I'm getting under fire with all kinds of questions from them. But it gave me an amazing opportunity, and I probably had 25 LinkedIn finance leads that resulted from that. So I'll probably still get 100 more. So one person, I talk to their audience. People are desperate for people that have knowledge on business credit financing to talk about their audiences, to explain what's going on. I've told you the talking points. Here's how SBA loans work: 3.75% for profits, 2.75% for nonprofits, 30-year terms they can get up to. Okay, $1,600 a month payment for $350,000. Stay under $350 to get away from collateral and get the loan fast through the SBA Express program. I've told you what you need to be talking about out there. Give people, tap into the training we have in the back office to use all that education to teach people all the different ways they can get financing right now. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. Advertise. If you have money, I need you to understand the cost for Facebook leads right now has decreased by 70%. 70%. We are crushing it on Facebook and Google right now, crushing it. We lowered our ad spend by $10,000 a month and are bringing in more leads than when we lowered our ad spend. So it is an unbelievable time to get in places like Facebook and Google right now, because so many people pulled out from advertising that it is super cheap to get leads. Lead cost is down 50 to 70%. So LinkedIn ads, Facebook, wherever you want to advertise, we crush it on Facebook and Google. Go back to our training where we teach you how to do that. You have the guides, you have everything that we've taught you how to put together to make this work. The funnel, all that stuff you have access to. So it is an unbelievable time to advertise on those channels right now because ad cost is so cheap. So something else that I haven't mentioned. Any other things we can help with, go to the contact us in your back office and get in touch with us, okay? Also keep in mind that we have a great affiliate program. If you want to refer customers to us and get paid, you could do so. Go to creditsuite.com/affiliate. You could refer customers to us to be partners. Okay, if you're already a partner, which you are because you're here, then you don't need to go do that. If you're already a partner, just use the Premier Partner Referral. But if you have, well, use Premier Partner Referral even if they're a partner. Excuse me. You don't even need to worry about affiliate program. If you have somebody that's interested in offering business credit financing as a service, somebody that is interested in getting money that you don't want to help, somebody that's interested in building business credit that you don't want to help, put them through Premier Partner. We'll help them and you'll get paid. I can't tell you how much money is now coming to some of our partners just because they're sending us tons of people that need help. We're helping all these people and they're getting stupid amounts of money sent to them in affiliate commissions right now because they can. So a lot of different ways to make money through all this. Now you have an idea of the finance landscape. You have an idea how to sell it. You have an idea of the messaging. I think that pretty much answers everything that I think you should know to get out there and succeed. I've even told you our exact strategy. If we can help you, get with our partner success team. Oh, and one more thing, please be patient. I had some partner, it was a complete jerk, emailed Eric yesterday, said he left a message for the finance officer last night and didn't hear back and was slamming us. I mean, be aware of what's going on. You know how inundated we are right now with people calling that need help? It's insane. So we are trying our best to get to everybody in a timely fashion. We move people that aren't even usually on the phones to help. But just be patient and tell your customers to be patient. Right now, everybody's inundated and it's slowed down our ability to be able to help you sometimes and help your customers in the time period we usually do. We're usually really anal about everybody getting a call back in an hour. It may take 2 hours. It may take 3 hours. It might take a half a day for your customer to get a call back right now. Just be patient with us and relay that message to your customers as well. Hey, as you might imagine, we help businesses get capital. We're inundated right now. So just be patient with us. It takes us a little bit longer to help, but you will have 100% of our attention when we get you on the phone. Okay, so let them know that. And when you're putting customers into us, get us the best contact information, the best email, the best phone, so we don't have to chase them, so we can get with them right away and let them know we're going to be calling so we can get with them right away. Some other advice that can help all of us help more people during this crisis. I don't have any other questions come in. I'm going to wrap this up. If you do have any other questions, reach out to us and let us know. You can reach out to your partner success team. Otherwise, I will be back next week and give you more up-to-date information and all the help I can have to help you mitigate this process and get the crisis, get the money you need through this and help your customers as well. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.